Well, in case you missed it, we just exclusively revealed the cast of Survivor's 50th season. That's milestone season features an iconic lineup of returning players, including White Lotus writer, creator, and director, that would be Mike White. Survivor host Jeff Probst joins us from Los Angeles. Jeff, it's really good to see you. When you were revealing the list, there were a whole lot of, I remember Kyle, I remember Q, I remember fill in the blank, Colby. So I'm curious, you had 700 players, you narrowed it down to 24.
Yeah.
How did you decide who got to come back? And I'm really curious about Mike White. Your turn.
Well, for the bigger picture, like you said, 750 people. Here's what we realized early on, that casting Survivor 50 was kind of like casting the ultimate all-time movie. And you think about all the actors that are alive today that you could put in that movie, but there's only so many roles, and we wanted 50 to be a little taste of everything. Because, Gayle, we've done like heroes versus villains and game changers and fans versus favorites and winners. We wanted to taste every flavor, every type of personality, all the eras. And so we went from 200 on a list to 100 to 80 to 50. And then those last, 26, they were brutal cuts. And they still are. There's so many people we could have put out there, but there's only so many people you can put on the show.
Well, a lot of people know Mike White's name. How did he make the cut?
I mean, do you have to ask? Mike White? I mean, he actually, Mike, after he finished playing, said, I want to play again. And that was before White Lotus.
Yeah.
And then White Lotus hit, and I thought, well, he'll never play again. But he kept texting and saying, look, I'm serious. If you ever do anything where you have returning players, I want to play again. So we're happy to have Mike back.
Yeah, I think that, me too. I think that's a good cut.
But here's the thing, Jeff. Here's the thing about Mike White. You're right. He's now one of the most powerful guys in Hollywood, and he's had some of the contestants on White Lotus. So if you're playing against him and you're like, maybe I want a career in Hollywood.
Strategy within the strategy.
Exactly is what I'm talking about, Jeff.
Don't think Mike White, who is clever enough to write and direct White Lotus, has not thought about that. I'm sure it's gone through his head, too.
All right, Jeff, you have seen so many different versions of this show with the contestants, the players, the bonds that run so deep.
Yeah.
Do bonds work as an advantage or is it a disadvantage?
Nate, what's really always interesting about a returning player season, especially now after being on 2.5 decades, is some of these people have played together, but a lot of them are friends because they'll go to a charity event. So, and they get to know each other. So one of the ideas that I think is probably going to play out is we'll maybe be breaking that fourth wall when players start talking about being friends and whether or not that is an asset, as you said, or a liability, and how people view you. So.
People
and the other thing
excited.
that's happening this season.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Gayle. You go.
No. But I was just saying, this season it's in the hands of the fans, and people are saying, how much say, Jeff, do fans really have?
A lot. Gayle, throughout our last season, which was 48, which just finished last week, fans have been voting on everything from something like the aesthetic of the color of the buff, all the way to should there be idols? Rice, supply, it's everything. And they voted, and we have the results. And what's fun is we are now going to go execute on behalf of the fans the game they designed, but the players have no idea if there are, for instance, advantages or not, or idols or whatever. So I'm really curious how they're going to use the lack of information as an asset to say, hey, I know something you don't, or I found a note in the jungle that told me this, because literally anything could happen this season.
Well, listen, we can't wait for season 50. We're going to be enjoying Survivor while we're waiting for Survivor 50. That's for sure. Jeff Probst, thank you so much. We will continue our conversation with Jeff on CBS Mornings Plus, on select stations, and on our streaming network, CBS News 24/7.